Welcome to today's journey through history. Today, we're diving into the life and legacy of one of history's most extraordinary figures, Alexander the Great. A military genius, visionary ruler, and world conqueror, Alexander changed the world in ways that continue to resonate even today. From his early years, as the son of a king, to his ambitious conquests across Asia, Alexander's story is one of courage, intelligence, and the relentless pursuit of glory. Let's start with the basics. Alexander was born in 356 BCE in Pella, the capital of the ancient kingdom of Macedonia, which is in modern-day Greece. His father, King Philip II of Macedonia, was a powerful and ambitious leader who transformed Macedonia from a minor kingdom into a dominant military power. Alexander's mother, Queen Olympias, was a deeply spiritual woman who instilled in him a sense of destiny. According to legend, Olympias claimed Alexander was the son of Zeus, the king of the Greek gods. From an early age, Alexander believed he was destined for greatness. His education was carefully supervised by his father, who ensured Alexander had the best tutors available. Most notably, when Alexander was just 13, King Philip hired the philosopher Aristotle as his personal teacher. Aristotle was one of the greatest minds of the ancient world, and he imparted deep knowledge to Alexander in fields like philosophy, ethics, politics, science, and literature. Aristotle's teachings gave Alexander a lifelong curiosity and a love for Greek culture, knowledge that would later influence the way he governed the lands he conquered. Alexander learned about Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, and he dreamed of emulating the legendary Greek heroes like Achilles. Alexander's journey to power began when his father, Philip, was assassinated in 336 BCE under mysterious circumstances. At the young age of 20, Alexander became king of Macedonia. This was no easy transition, as Philip's death left the kingdom vulnerable and riddled with potential uprisings. But Alexander acted swiftly and decisively. He eliminated potential rivals and quelled any signs of rebellion in the Macedonian territories. His quick and effective response solidified his control and displayed his natural abilities as a leader. One of his first acts as king was to continue his father's mission of uniting Greece. At the time, Greece was divided into various city-states that frequently fought each other. With remarkable speed, Alexander forced the Greek states into submission, using a combination of diplomacy and military strength. He became the leader of the League of Corinth, which gave him control over the Greek city-states. With Greece united under his leadership, Alexander set his sights on an even greater ambition: the conquest of the Persian Empire, the world's largest and most powerful empire at the time. In 334 BCE, Alexander began his campaign against Persia, a campaign that would transform him from a Macedonian king into a legendary conqueror. He crossed the Hellespont, a narrow strait separating Europe from Asia, with an army of about 40,000 men. His first major battle was at the Granicus River, where he decisively defeated the Persian forces. From this point, Alexander's momentum only grew. One of his most famous battles was the Battle of Issus in 333 BCE. Here he faced King Darius III, the ruler of Persia, in a battle that was marked by Alexander's brilliant tactical maneuvers. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Alexander achieved a stunning victory, forcing Darius to flee the battlefield. This victory was a turning point, as it boosted Alexander's reputation as an unstoppable force and struck fear into the heart of the Persian Empire. With the road to Persia open, Alexander continued his campaign, capturing major cities like Tyre and Gaza along the way. In each city, he displayed his tactical genius by adapting his strategies to overcome unique challenges. For example, Tyre was an island city fortified against invaders. To capture it, Alexander ordered his engineers to build a massive causeway, enabling his troops to reach and besiege the city. By 331 BCE, Alexander was ready for a final confrontation with Darius III. The two armies met at the Battle of Gaugamela, one of the most significant battles in ancient history, Despite the overwhelming numbers of the Persian forces, Alexander's clever tactics and courageous leadership led to a decisive victory. This battle effectively marked the end of the Persian Empire, and Alexander entered the Persian capital of Persepolis, where he was declared the king of Asia. After conquering Persia, Alexander turned his attention to Egypt, where he was welcomed as a liberator. He founded the city of Alexandria, which would go on to become one of the most important cultural and intellectual centers in the ancient world. The Egyptians crowned him as a pharaoh, and Alexander adopted Egyptian customs, which helped him secure the loyalty of his new subjects. Alexander's ambition didn't stop at Persia and Egypt. He wanted to push further east, reaching as far as the lands beyond the known world. His campaign continued into what is now Afghanistan, Pakistan, and eventually into India. In 326 BCE, he fought the Battle of the Hydaspes against King Porus, a local ruler who put up fierce resistance. The battle was hard fought, but Alexander emerged victorious and, in a show of respect, allowed Porus to retain his throne. By this time, Alexander's troops were exhausted. They had traveled thousands of miles, endured harsh climates, and fought countless battles. After years of relentless campaigning, Alexander's men demanded to return home. Reluctantly, Alexander agreed and led his army back west. The return journey was grueling, with many soldiers losing their lives in the harsh Gedrosian desert. In 323 BCE, at the age of only 32, Alexander fell seriously ill in Babylon. Despite efforts to save him, he died, leaving behind a massive empire with no clear successor. His generals, known as the Diadochi, eventually divided his empire, leading to a period of instability and conflict. Although his empire was fragmented, Alexander's impact endured. He spread Greek culture, language, and ideas across the lands he conquered, a legacy known as Hellenization. His cities, especially Alexandria in Egypt, became centers of learning and cultural exchange, blending Greek, Persian, Egyptian, and Indian traditions. Alexander's vision of uniting East and West inspired future leaders and remains an ideal in world history. In the end, Alexander the Great's legacy is one of immense cultural influence, military innovation, and enduring inspiration. His life was brief, but his achievements reshaped the ancient world and set the foundation for the Hellenistic era, which would shape the Mediterranean world for centuries to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the life of Alexander the Great. His story is a reminder of the power of ambition, courage,